Welcome to 6 Steps to Your Irresistible Brand, Part 3. And if you've been watching the last few videos, you know this is me, Fabiola Giordani. And today we are going to speak about the last two pieces of building an irresistible, profitable brand. And these are very key in terms of putting it all together so that you can have a brand just like Apple, Beyonce, or even Oprah. So think about, we're going to talk about the last two pieces, but also we're going to focus on a little activity to help you apply the things that you're learning in this training to your business right now. So the first one I want to talk about is exclusivity. So creating a red velvet rope policy in your business. So what do I mean by that? We start a business, we want to help everyone. We want to save the world and make a difference, and that's great. But the problem is not everyone's going to be your client. Not everyone's going to want to hear from you, and not everyone's going to care about your mission. As sad as it sounds, that is the reality, and that is the world that we live in. So when you are creating your brand or you're elevating your brand to the next level, you want to think about who do you want to take with you. So this red velvet rope policy was created by Michael Port, the author of Book Yourself Solid. Great, awesome book. So if you don't have it, go ahead and pick that up on Amazon. No, I'm not an affiliate. Just wanted to recommend the book for you. And what he focuses on is creating a red velvet rope policy for your business in order for you to thrive. Because what he's basically saying, the concept in a nutshell, is if you know who your ideal audience is, you need to focus on those people. You need to ditch all the people who are the duds in your business, those who are not allowing you to grow in terms of they're always asking for a discount. They're always asking for extras above and beyond what you're already offering them, because most of us who are listening to this are rock star consultants and coaches and service providers and authors and speakers, and we already give tons of value, and I know a lot of people give bonuses in terms of what they offer. So the fact that you gave the kitchen sink and someone wants the house on top of that, not that it's a problem, but if your price is $100, you really can't expect the house for the price of the kitchen sink. So that's basically the concept that he's focusing on. So when you are identifying your ideal client, you want to know that this is the person I want to work with. You want to know exactly how much they make a year, because let's be honest, your ideal client need to have money for them to pay you. I don't care what business you're in. If this person has no money, then you have no business. So, and it's about this a nonprofit, I would say, and even a nonprofit needs money. So maybe that client may be a single mom who may need babysitting or daycare, and your service is to provide them free daycare. Well, you're going to need to go out there and get the money guy. So you have two ideal clients in this case. It would be the single mom who needs a free daycare, and it would be the government or someone with money that would give you a grant to fund this particular business. So either way, you're going to have to find money. So that money man, you need to know how much that money man makes. So no matter what you do, someone has to have money for it to be a business. You're trading your value and they're giving you money to make it a business. Why am I emphasizing on this? Because this is where the part of your star client comes in. So when you think about your star client, you want to think about exactly what qualities do they have. So, are they happy? Are they resilient, courageous? Do they think big? Are they willing to put in the work that you're going to work with them together, especially as coaches? Are they going to put in the work to get the results? Because your business is based on results. Now, if your client gets no results because they didn't put any work, that's not your fault. But in reality, they're going to be like, oh, the duds anyways. They're going to be like, oh, I just spent tons of money with such and such, and I got no value out of it. Meanwhile, every time you gave them an assignment, every time you suggested something that would benefit them, they took no action towards it. But that's their mentality. They're the duds because you haven't weeded those people out of your business. And it sounds terrible when you think about it this way, but it really isn't, because when you notice the businesses that are thriving know exactly who their customers are. They know exactly how to speak to them, how to write to them, how to communicate with them. They also know exactly who not to bring into their business. They can tell you right now, especially, coaches with high-end packages. This is the reason why they have, reach out to me before you purchase packages, because they don't want you to give them money and then you're not getting anything out of it because they know, they can see within you that first conversation that you're not going to be the one to take the action that you really need to fulfill, your dreams. So you want to weed out those people. So the first thing is to focus on what qualities do they have that you want to work with, that, in terms of they're naturally collaborative. They want to collaborate with you. They want to learn. They want to share, and they want to expand. Positive. You want to work with positive people. I know as life coaches, sometimes, your client may come to you with tons of problems that you want to solve, and that's great. But the fact that they're taking a step to notice that there's a problem is a good thing. So focus on those people who want to make the change. Other benefits. Now, here's some benefits of working with people who are your star clients or your dream clients. Is that, their energy is clean. They're not worried about, they know that they're giving the money to you because they're going to get something out of it. They know that this is benefiting their business or their life in some way. And of course, we all go through problems. So if that arises, that's fine. But your ideal client won't worry about every little detail because what they want is the results. So they're going to focus on that. You want people who makes you feel, not just you, but both of you would feel successful and confident in what you do. And of course, you're bringing magic into their life. I know it sounds airy-fairy, but you are bringing magic into their life because you're changing your clients in some way. So the activity for you in this particular exercise, I know there haven't been a lot of activities in this training, but this part is really key. You want to define who your ideal client or your star client is, according to Michael Port. You want to do the following things. So you want to find out who they hang around, because that's key. Your ideal client will be someone who wants to make change in their life or in their business, so they're going to hang around with other life changers. What qualities and characteristics do they have in terms of being upbeat and positive and organized? And even if they're not organized, because that might be your ideal client, someone who's not organized, whatever that may be, what ideal qualities or characteristics do they have? What do they like to do? That's also key. You want to know, what do they like to do besides running a business or besides being a parent? What books do they like to read? What movies do they like to watch? That's key too, because that will help you in terms of your copy, in terms of communicating with them, in terms of building that relationship, especially through social media. What I notice a lot of people are doing now is they're forgetting that social media is about being social. So that was what it was created for. And yes, it's a great way to build your business. But when you don't know your ideal client, it's hard for you to talk to them about things that they would enjoy. Because when I go on Facebook, half the time, I have tons of business friends. But my non-business friends, they share things about their kids and their lives. And they share things about, funny things that they like. I may not like every one of them, but the point is, they have other needs. Your customers, even if they're business customers, they have other needs as well. So find out what they are. And of course, the kinds of ethics they should uphold in terms of, wanting to make a change in their lives, in terms of keeping things confidential, in terms of your conversation that you're having with them. And, what do they talk about? We want to know what our ideal clients talk about. This is going to help us help them a lot more. And how do they contribute to society? Now, I know that that's something that you're not ideally looking for, but that is key. You want to know what these people are interested in terms of helping the world. It could be just volunteering or donating money, but then you know exactly who they are and where they're coming from. That way you can better help them. Now, another exercise that's very key is to figure out who your current clients are. So if your roster is not helping you, in terms of the people that you have that you're serving, clients are great and, they are building your business, but let's just say you have a few problematic clients. Let's not pretend like they don't exist. If you have a few problematic clients and you realize that there's nothing that you can do in terms of helping them grow because they're not willing to grow, you've done everything under the sun, it's probably best for you to either recommend them to someone else or, recommend them to someone else that can help them, because sometimes we can't help everyone. And that's the key here, is to develop that red velvet rope policy to find out the people that really want our services. Because remember, people do not buy what they need. What they need is food, shelter, and water. They do not need your products. They want your products. They want your services. So it's a want. So people who really want to work with you and who really want to make a change, these are the people that you're looking for in your business. No matter what business you're in. I mean, for example, Sephora. I love makeup. My favorite red lipstick. I cannot live without it. And to be honest, I want that. I could live without it. It's not a need. I don't need it to feel fabulous, but I want it. So no matter what it is, how much it costs, I still buy it. So you want to focus on those. So just figure out who is your ideal client and where they're hanging out, what they love, and also figure out who are the duds in your business. The problematic clients you've had in the past. Take time, list all of those qualities out that person had, and say, this is the client I don't want. You have to separate the two. That way, when you do have your consultations and when you see that client coming, again, I know we want to save the world, but in order for your business to thrive and to be exclusive and irresistible, you just cannot take everyone in. So that is the first one that I wanted to discuss with you. And of course, the key here is to focus on attracting your star clients, which is very, very key. Now, the next one and the last and final installment of this training is pricing. So pricing is key. That is very important for your business. When you start a business, there's obviously the part where you're not feeling as confident to charge the amount that, all the value that you're giving because you want to build up your business. And that's fine, but there's a certain point in your business that you want to actually charge the actual value. Now, pricing is all about confidence. We all know this. If you're not feeling that, you're giving tons of value, even though you are in this package that you're offering, then of course you're not going to price accordingly. Of course, you're going to underprice yourself. And you look at your competition and you look at them and you're like, man, their website doesn't even look right. And they haven't done anything to their business to really improve it, but they're making a lot of money. And that's because they're confident in their pricing. They know that they're offering value, even though they have a sucky website, even though their buy now button may not work. We don't know that, but they are confident in what they're offering. So what I wanted to talk about, I hosted a marketing webinar, and part of the things that we discussed was pricing, and I wanted to briefly speak about the three things in terms of placement, positioning, and persistence. So when you decide the value of your work, and just so you know, a quick formula for pricing is not exactly how many hours you put in it, which is important, but it's really all of the material and all of the time that you're going to consider with the client. What value can you put on that? Because the value really is, they're having this huge problem that they need solved in their business or in their life, and you have a solution. So how much is that worth to your client and to you? I mean, I know people charging $50,000 for a year of coaching. So it really depends on what you're going to give, and you have to be willing to step up to the plate and say, okay, I'm charging this premium price because I know I'm going to deliver on that, which means you're going to deliver on your emails on time, and you're going to be respondent, and you're going to provide them the best customer service. So if you're not feeling that you can handle that, most of the time people don't price as high because there's that expectation that if I price higher, I'm going to have to do more. So think about that when you're pricing your services and your products. So I want to talk about the placement piece because that's very important. So it's really the positioning into how do you deliver these promises that you're making to your customers in terms of, I know some people do 24-hour email response. Are you really doing that? Are you ready? Are you staffed for that? If that's something that you need to do. Another thing I want to talk about was the positioning. Now, when you're positioning an actual item and you know your niche, you know your audience, you know who you're talking to, it's really easy to speak in their language and say, you know what, I know you have this problem and I know exactly how we can solve it, and let's collaborate, let's work together, let's do this and that to solve it. So how are you positioning that to them in terms of, evoking those emotions that will delight them to want to buy from you? And the next one is persistence. And I know that sounds so annoying. It's like, whoa, persistence. But the reality is, if persistence is really your frequency and your consistency in this matter. So how frequent are you in terms of your putting your business out there and being known and being seen? And how consistent are you in terms of that? So if you promise to deliver blog posts every week, are you doing so? Are you delivering on any promises that you're making? Are you consistent in being seen and heard in your marketplace? Because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for reliability. They're looking to know, like, and trust you. So that's what you're looking to do in your business. And when you are doing all of that, then of course you can certainly believe in the price that you're charging, and you can also, people will believe that you are the expert because they've seen you consistently deliver on these promises that you're making to your customers. So that is the 6 steps to your irresistible brand. You want to basically have the pricing in place to build your business. You want to have the red velvet rope policy. You want to have a beautiful story, to craft your story that people will fall in love with. You want to also find out the trends that are out there that can really benefit in terms of making you look more appealing, because no one wants to read a boring blog post or newsletter. So certainly you want to be in the limelight. So the key in this entire presentation is really to be seen, be heard, and be profitable. So the way the big names do it, to answer the question I had in the beginning of this, is really to focus on who your ideal client is and deliver on the promises that you're making them. But also building a relationship. That is the key to building an irresistible brand, is relationship building. We live in a world that no one wants to hear buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. Instead, they want to hear stories about you and how we can build our relationship in terms of you getting to know me and my brand more. Because remember, a brand is not a website or your shiny logo. Your brand is your relationship that you build with your customers to evoke the emotion for them to buy from you. So let's take some action and start making some changes in our brands if we're not doing that already. Take some time to evaluate your brand in terms of where you are right now. Is your story compelling enough? Are your offerings juicy where people are salivating to get it? And are your blog posts juicy to, attract your ideal clients? Do you have an effective marketing plan in place? Because that's one of the things that's very important. If you don't know all of the keys to putting a plan in place, you certainly need to figure that out, because it's definitely hard to market your business and market yourself if you don't know where to start. And of course, you want to ask yourself, am I offering things that people really want and at the price that make them want to buy? Because when Apple first started, they were exclusive to AT&T. They had their own red velvet rope policy. People loved the product before they even had a chance to even touch it, because of all the way they promoted it. It was nice, it was clean, it was friendly. And then when it came out, boom, only one person, only one brand or one company was able to actually provide these products. And can you imagine people paying hundreds, if not thousands, to cancel services from Verizon and Sprint and T-Mobile just so they can have an iPhone? And it went on for years. Can you imagine? For years, people were just ditching their providers, not caring, because when they did that, they also had to pay, hundreds for the phone as well. So that's what you want. You want to evoke that emotion out of people where they're like, I'm so excited about this. I cannot wait to book a consultation with this person, or I cannot wait to buy this next course because I know it's going to be amazing. But it all starts with you being seen, letting people see you, and building that trust with people and that relationship in order for them to say, here's my hard-earned dollars. So I want to thank you so much for joining me on this journey throughout this training for 6 steps to your irresistible brand. And if you do have any questions and you wanted them answered, feel free to email me. And you can just reply to this email if you're watching this video right now, or you can send me an email at hello@fabiolajordani.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.